Hey guys, welcome to another episode of ProSeller Talk. My name is John Bullard Sr. and I am the host. And today I have a special guest for you. His name is Michael Russo. Met a couple years back now. He actually attended one of my trade shows that I had out in Vegas. He also has been a part of my son's conference that my son did. So I know Michael pretty well. Got to know him. Got to talk to him. Michael's the real deal. He's an honest person. He puts together quality things that are going to help you enhance your business. For those of you that do know me, I want you to know that I always will not promote something that I don't believe in. I will not bring guests on here that I think that are going to help you and help enhance your business. So when you do see these things, some of these things, they do offer promotions and coupons and things like that for you. Others will be bringing things in here that are just going to be information content that'll help you. Again, Michael Russo is my guest today. Let's give a big welcome to Michael. Michael, how are you?
Hey, John. Thanks for having me here today. Hi, everybody. Glad to be here, and I appreciate that introduction about the presentation and myself. I met John back a couple years ago. We actually did a great kind of cutting-edge training session on the ASD floor for a big convention in Las Vegas for Wholesale. And I think you had the WhatsApp at that one point. And we actually, I was on the floor doing some negotiations, and I would just give a quick text over WhatsApp message to John. He would lead me down the path, and it was actually how we first met. So we've been kind of going back and forth a little bit on technology since that point. And I'm very happy here tonight to present our presentation on online arbitrage, a bridge to wholesale. Can everybody see that screen? John, are you able to see my screen as far as the presentation on the slide?
I am able to see your screen.
Great.
For those of you that are in the chat, can you hear Michael or myself okay? Can you give us a yes? I can hear you okay. And for those of you that are here and cannot see the chat, some of the issues that YouTube is having with Webinar GM is that they are not allowing the chat on certain channels for I'm able to get it, but if you didn't make the changes that YouTube said you needed to make with Webinar GM, you may not be able to see it. But if I am seeing Ben Scott says yes, glad you guys are here. Welcome. So why don't you go in and introduce yourself a little bit, Michael? I know
Sure.
you talked about meeting me at the conference in Vegas and the things that we went over, but why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to the folks here and let them know who you are, what you're about, and what you're doing and up to right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay. My name is Mike, of course, Russo, and I have an offline business and an online Amazon business, and my offline business is actually a large medical device and medical equipment company. So my investment dollars have come from that company to explore the world of e-commerce, and this exploration has really brought me through Amazon, through Shopify, Facebook ads. I'm actually going into Merch by Amazon now and Teespring. So it's actually opened up a lot of doors. Amazon's a pillar to me, one of the many ways to make money online and to use multiple places to sell your services and also your products. So I do a variety of things, and Amazon is one of them. And tonight, what we'll be talking about is, in particular, the FBA seller list. This is actually a shared VA service. When I first started out, I actually hired trained VAs to source products for me for time constraints to go ahead and to source products, and I would vet them, buy them, and list them on Amazon to get the whole feel of how everything worked. And I thought, what a great service. Then I was in a group, and to my head, one of my colleagues have reached out to me and said, hey, there's a shared VA service for sale. Do you want to buy this? So I said, yeah, I'll look at that. I'm interested in any type of technology or any kind of process to make my life easier. So I was offered this company for sale, and a partner of mine, Paul Morrowood, in Australia. So I have a partner in Australia that owns the other half, and it's great because he actually can work with the VAs on the same time zone, which I think is a big thing for a VA list, to have somebody supervising during operating hours. While I'm sleeping, he's working, and while he's sleeping, I'm working. And so the idea behind this list really was to make it a little different than what I've seen out there, make it something that's a quality product that's reproducible every single day, and provide quality leads to people for a good price, a good value. And that's what I'm going to show today, the differences between this list and what you may be used to seeing or not seeing. And I put an extra spin on it today as well. It's actually the idea you can use a shared VA list to source wholesale products or make unique UPC listings. So I know, John, you've talked about that in the past as far as taking products and bundling them together to make a unique UPC where you're the only one in the listing. And I don't want to get too far ahead here, but those are some of the things we'll be talking about. So my presentation right now is online arbitrage, a bridge to wholesale. And one of the things, so this is a quote that I kind of live by, and I'll read it out loud. You probably can see it on your screen. Time is the scarcest resource. Unless it's managed, nothing else can be managed. And part of the FBA seller list, what I liked about it is that I have a very busy business during the daytime, and a busy growing Amazon business, Shopify business, a variety of things going on that I try to automate much as possible and delegate much as possible to save time for myself, to grow, and also for my family. And so I look for things that are automated, things that I can do and other people can do as well. And the presentation really will talk about how using a shared virtual assistant list will save you time and make you money, and also throwing in the added benefit of looking at wholesale products or making unique UPCs using lists. And if you're new to Amazon and you're doing RA now and retail arbitrage or OA online arbitrage, this is a good way to jump into the next level, which we'll talk about. And what I say is just don't buy a list. There's lists out there for sale now. There's a variety of good lists out there you can get. But also look deeper. Just look more into the list. You can do more things with it. And we'll go over some of those items today. Here's the Amazon seller progression pyramid. We probably have all seen this before. And it talks about where you start. And if you look at the bottom of the pyramid, most people start selling items around their home, and they build all the way up to private label, which is the holy grail of selling on Amazon or really anywhere with your own brand. But it's really important, I think people are new, take these steps one at a time, work their way up, at least from retail arbitrage, the online arbitrage, the wholesale, exclusive deals, the private label, because there's so many things that go into running an Amazon business or any other e-commerce business that you have to learn. If you jump from the bottom to the top, you may put yourself in financial risk or get frustrated and quit at it. So I think what I've learned is I started from the bottom. I actually started from OA and a little bit of retail. And for me, anything below online arbitrage or wholesale was too time consuming. So I'm more of an automated person. I like to go right the things that are I can automate, have other people do, and outsource and move forward. So looking at our slide again, most people are doing retail arbitrage and online arbitrage in hopes to getting into wholesale, exclusive wholesale deals, and eventually into private label. And we're going to talk about these things as we go forward as well. And I want to talk about capital risk and investment. Part of the scenario is depending on your investment dollars that you have, the amount of capital that you have, and how much of a risk you're willing to take to make money. All businesses have risk, and I kind of thought about it, and I made a chart to show, I consider my model types being, all my models are retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, the VA share list, your wholesale, your co-op groups, and your private label, and I broke it down into 3 categories: time consumption, access to these leads and products, and also investment of risk and capital, all 3 things that I look at when evaluating any business, offline or online. And as I noted before, retail arbitrage is a very high time consumption. And for me, I just don't have the time to run to the store and look for sales and spend the whole day doing that. Access to leads can be fair depending on what type of sales are going on, and your investment and risk and capital is low. And I say low for now, meaning that everybody's heard all the changes going on Amazon, brand registry, brand protection. So retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, I could say to a certain point, are under a certain microscope, like any online business. to look at these things and kind of see the future. You're doing it now, but you should look to think about growing further down up the Amazon progression selling scale. So as we go down the chart here, online arbitrage, consumption can be high as well. You can spend hours on a computer looking for deals. And there's also some, there's great software out there now, like OAX-Ray, things like that are good. You can use the types of tools to find things, but you're also looking at the same websites and things everybody else is looking at, and you're kind of looking at the same deals because the softwares do a great job, I think, and come a long way, and they're improving all the time, but you're also sourcing from many of the same places. So your access online to deals are pretty good, for sure. It's lower time consumption than retail arbitrage, but it still can be a lot of time to find a deal. Going on to the next level model, which is online arbitrage using a VA service like the FBA seller list, time consumption is very low. Basically, you log into your account every day, and you have 12 leads to look at and vet. So instead of trying to find the leads, you have leads delivered to you on a daily basis, depending on your membership or if you buy a list for a day. You can just look at it and say, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, and you're basically done with it. Access, you have plenty of leads. You can't, unless you have a lot of capital, you can't buy all the leads you're going to get every day. You have tons of leads to look at, tons of leads to buy, and the investment in capital is wherever you want to put into it. If you want to spend $1,000, you spend $1,000. You want to spend $300, $100, it's up to you. You want to spend. You can go as high as you like to go. And what I'm finding on online arbitrage, you're looking at profit margins from 20 to 30% on your money. So you want after all expenses. So you spend 10 grand, you're going to make $10,000 back in profit, up to 3,000 if you're using coupons and stacking gift cards, which I'll show that later on in the presentation, how to get more money off the products you're buying. A lot of the times, your profit's made in your purchasing than in the selling. Next thing down the list here is wholesale. Time consumption can be high. You have to. I like wholesale myself, but you have to maybe attend trade shows. You have to travel. Again, you have to go out and find vendors to work with you, and your access to products may be low because maybe you're not a retail shop. You're not brick and mortar. You're not set up to get wholesale accounts from the vendors that you want to get them from. But I think investment, once you have a wholesale account, it can be lower risk because you can buy what you need. Instead of buying thousands of products, you can buy a quantity of 30 and 50 and buy what you need on certain quantities of inventory. And then there's the co-op groups, what I like too as well. Time consumption very low. They deliver products you can buy in bulk at any time you want. Access is very good. The risk is a little higher because you have to be a little bit more of an advanced seller. I think once you have the money to spend, you have to learn how to take these products, maybe bundle together these type of products, and or learn to buy and hold some for now, sell some later on, and do things like that. Use different sales channels to move your higher volume. And then we're down to private label. And the private label time consumption is very high. I have products that may take 3 months to 6 months to get here. By boat, definitely 6 months. It takes a while to get. Your investment in capital is very large, and it's something I recommend you don't jump into right away. I think you have to go through all these different models, from retail arbitrage or online arbitrage down to get your skill level like any other business to understand what you're doing and understand the risk associated and feel confident in when vetting and buying products to do private label. So here's our investments in capital. So what I'm looking at for me, my presentation here is like online arbitrage of the VA list is kind of right in the middle of all this stuff. Doesn't take very long to do. Look at a list every day, get products every single day, and you can spend as much as you want to or as little as you want to. So I find that to be a very user-friendly service, and some people do it for a long time and do very well, and that's what we'll be talking about. So the next slide is going to be.
Hey, Michael, let me just stop you there for 1 second because I think it's important for them to know. What Michael's talking about here too, guys, is there's a lot of lists out there, and I've seen them, been on them, bought them, and a lot of the lists are mainstream items that everybody can get. The commodities are out there. You get on one list, get on a second list, get on a third list, and you start to get saturation. Even though you're on these lists, you might be buying this toy and the same toys on a different list and this. What Michael's talking about here is not using robots. He's talking about physically doing the labor and searching these lists out there that a lot of people are not searching for. He's doing the extra work with his shared source VAs, basically, where he's finding, I would say, less than mainstream type items that are very profitable and that are still doing very well on Amazon. Is that correct to say, Michael?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Exactly. You know, our guys, I guess, are old school. They go out there and they do a full 8-hour day each, you know, and they're coming through, and we're actually watching them source, you know, through Google Drive when they put things in. So they're being observed, and we're always correcting and always making improvements as they source. But yeah, if you use your software today, you're finding products. We might find the same product somebody else is finding. And with our list and our VAs, it's the old-fashioned way where you hire VAs and they're out there doing it for you on a daily basis, and going to sites that are not as popular or looking at deals that, you know, may not be looked at by the softwares. So yeah, it's definitely that. And another thing too is you'll see in our list, we'll get into the list in a minute, is that these lists are actually password protected. So you have to log in to get these lists on the screen. These aren't delivered by PDF like by Gumroad, things like that. Not that those lists are bad or anything, is that you can't share these as easy. If somebody wanted to share a PDF, they can download it, email it to somebody else, as everybody knows, and share that. So our lists aren't diluted in any way. The members who are signed up, and, you know, they're limited to this amount of members. So it's protected. It's done the old-fashioned way with a lot of effort and elbow grease for sure. And at times we have to console our VAs and let them know they're doing a good job, because it's hard and things are getting harder out there to find deals. And so it's a lot of effort that goes into this. And if you ever done online arbitrage yourself without the softwares, it's an all-day thing for sure to find a few leads. So they're very good at what they do for sure, and they do it the right way.
What I love about it too is that I like to say it's from what I see, from what I saw, it's sort of like niche driven. It's going into the areas that a lot of these lists are not going into. And guess what? You don't have to be mainstream to make money on Amazon. I think the myth of this whole thing is a lot of people think that you have to have all these name brand products and everything that everybody else is having to be able to make money. But there's so many opportunities out there that people don't even touch, that Michael is exploring and finding and bringing them to you. It's such a great concept, and it's a great way to keep it so that it's protected through the password protection thing, and only given to a very short not that many people that he shares it with. So it's really a great concept, and I think it's something that to the lists that are out there, because this one, it's niche driven. And they're going to, when I looked at it and I saw some of the companies they were going into, I was like, who's that? And it's to be able to what he found, and then to look at the products he found and research them and look at Amazon through what he provides, you can see, oh, wow, this one's got, you know, sells this well and sells that many, you know, on average. So it really has, he put a lot of work into it, and it shows for what the quality of what it is.
Yeah, we try to mix it up where we have, you know, those off-the-wall type items that sell well. And, you know, I find things I sell now on Amazon, I'm amazed that, like, that's not going to sell. And boom, it sells. You know, and I've learned now that merch by Amazon's another area too. T-shirts, you never think that shirt's going to sell, and that's like my best seller. So you just never know. And it's these items that you just can't get at the store. And that's why I think Amazon is one of these things where you just can't get this particular item. You're not going to find it at any store. You buy it online, and somebody has a market for it. Somebody wants it. And so we try to provide a list that, you know, appeals to, you know, to people that know what they are, and other items that people get used to the list. They go, okay, yeah, here's a great selling item. I'm just going to get this many and test it out. And when doing online arbitrage with any list, you know, you only go so deep to get used to those products. And we'll go into reports in a little bit. I use reports a lot, and that's something which I did in the very beginning, and I learned it later on, how to use those Amazon reports to see what you're actually selling, what your conversion rates are, how much do you have the buy box for. So it helps you buy things in the future. And when you buy something, you know, make a spreadsheet, save it where you bought it from before. You know, go back and get it again. So yeah, we'll get into that. I appreciate that, John. It was definitely things we try to do. We try to be a little nichey and also a little bit of mainstream at the same time. But I think brand dependency is something we have to get away from going forward. So people aren't so much worried anymore about brands as they used to be. They want good values. And Amazon gives buyers a peace of mind. It doesn't work out, they can return it. So there is no risk on the buyer side, an Amazon buyer. So as long as you can provide a quality product, the brands themselves are starting to look a lot alike between different name brands. You're not touching things like you were in the old days in the store. So you're seeing it online, and if your listing is good and you have a good perceived value for pricing, it's going to sell. So here's the bridge. The bridge I keep talking about is, and we're going to get deeper into it, we know we can source items online, and we can list those items against other listings to sell. But what I'm getting towards is you actually can do that as option one, and option two, you can do something else, which we'll get into, which will be the wholesale side. So the first thing I do is I save time. I subscribe to a list that provides me 12 leads a day to look at if I want to buy it. I don't want to spend 8 hours on a computer doing this. I want to see my list, see my opportunities, and make a decision. And my biggest thing, I heard this before, and I believe it for many years, spend time on things only you can do. If somebody can spend 8 hours on a computer and source better than you, let them do it. And you do things that only you can do. Probably, I spend my time trying to find wholesale accounts. I spend my time trying to find private label products and all the OA stuff I don't worry about, because I know it's delivered whenever I can go on my computer and look at it whenever I want, if I want to buy OA or not. So it's important when you scale in any business, offline or online, don't be afraid to delegate the things that other people can do. Do the things that makes you different. All your time has to be considered. And if it's money, initially in the beginning, you have to do it yourself, or you want to learn it, it's okay to do that. Eventually, feel free to turn some of these services over to people and trust in a process. And then when the process is in place, it's a lot easier to grow. What I do, again, the leads come over, I just evaluate it. Do I want to buy it? Do I not want to buy it? Can I wholesale this item? Can I bundle this item? Can I private label it? I'm always thinking just beyond selling it as an online arbitrage item. I'm always thinking beyond that. And save more time, I use a lot of apps. And there's just so many apps out there now. And I think this is from a year or two ago, John. The amount of apps that are out there now are just tremendous. They're coming every day, a new app pops up. And it's amazing what these things do. And like any app, you have to take it as information, as probabilities, nothing set in stone, but as an assistance making a decision, like buying stocks. So I basically use a handful of apps, and I probably use a lot more in this. These are my main apps. The Jungle Scout app, everybody's kind of aware of. That one you can just estimate sales, and it gives you a nice little scan of page 1, page 2. It's a quick way to estimate scales. ACE Inspector is the same thing, pretty much Jungle Scout. The little difference there is that one can give you inventory levels. So you actually can scan the amount of inventory on each of those items. I think, John, your son's got one out now too as well, to give you inventory levels. And knowing inventory is important. How much inventory a seller has when you're buying product. They have 5,000 items and you're only selling 100 a month. It's going to take a while to sell some products unless you're going to beat them on price. So inventory is important to know. And Keepa, or Camel, I like Keepa because of the plugin. Keepa to me is we'll go into these apps in a little bit, but Keepa shows pricing stability. And I use it even further than that. I use Keepa to actually, you can save a product for the future and put price alerts. So if I want a price to be at a certain dollar amount, I can set it and I get an email saying, hey, your price that you want is hit this. So a lot of people who do very well on arbitrage actually have a lot of Keepa alerts. They'll find products they like and they'll put alerts on these products. And then when the low prices happens, if they get an email, and this is like trading any commodity on Amazon or on eBay or even like stocks. You're buying low and trying to sell high. You try and get those dips, in pricing and take advantage of those pricing dips. And sometimes you have to wait for pricing to go back up. But the goal is you want to buy low, and if you have to wait a little while for your price to go back up, you get it. How long you have to wait? You have to be realistic and use your data to say, well, it may take 3 days. It may take up to 60 days or 90 days, depending on what you bought it for and what you want to sell it for. Another app I use is Context Menu Search, and I'll show that one. Basically, I can highlight any text, and I can search a variety of websites to see pricing. I can search Google for wholesale products, and I'll show that in a minute. And one I'm actually really like a lot, that's new one's called RevROI, and I'll show that in a moment too. That one actually, you can search the whole web and look for the best coupon deal, the best rebate site, and also if there's any gift cards available to find the best deals. So I'll show that one live. Hopefully get to work on Webinar Jam. But basically that scan, instead of using Ebates, it actually searches like about 10 of them. So you get to see a variety of options under one app versus using one independent app at a time. So I've been using it a lot and saving big dollars, especially when buying from some online wholesalers. I've been using that app and saving 20%, 15% on top of the low price already. And sometimes getting free shipping, you know, that's all money. In OA and RA, you know, you have to use these coupons and these rebates to get your percentage, your net profit up. If you're making, you know, I made in the very beginning 20%, you know, now I definitely know I can do 30, 35% easily using these apps because I'm getting money back, I'm getting rebates, I'm getting discount coupons, and you got to shop like that. And these apps make it possible to do that. And so what's next? So I'm gonna kind of see if I can get the screen to pop over here, John, to my other screen. Let's see here, and show you the list itself for a second. And let me just close this out. And let me know if you can see the FBA seller list on your end, John.
I don't see it as of yet.
Let me try to share the screen one more time here. Get us back in a second. All right.
I do now.
That should do it. Okay. So basically, and let's ask the audience too, if we can get some, you know, yeses. Can everybody see that new screen? I'm on the FBAsellerlist.com. Once we get a yay, we'll move forward in the presentation.
Can you guys see the screen okay on the FBA seller list? I see the screen, so you're good.
All right, good. So basically, the FBA seller list, this site is the only password protected site that I know of as far as getting access to your daily leads. And that's why I purchased it. I was really more interested in the technology, how they're delivering password protected spreadsheets and PowerPoints. It really wasn't so much the business. When I bought it, it was a small membership site, and I was really into the technology behind it. And I was really going to just use the technology, myself and Paul, ourselves. But we had some happy members on there. So we said, okay, let's keep it going. We'll keep it going the way it is, and kind of learn from how to use it, make it better, and to keep growing it. And we'll see here is really, it's pretty simple. We have our homepage, pricing, contact. And once you have an account, your name of your account will be up here. And I have a super bundle list, meaning I have access to our shoe list and access to our mixed category list. And when you log into your site, I'm already logged in already, but I'll show you, you have 6 days of list up there. And of course, the most recent lists are always the better list because you have your most recent deals on there. And so you'll see, for instance, here's today's list, Tuesday, shoe deals and mixed deals. These are listed every day at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern Standard Time, just like clockwork. So it's very consistent. Once you're a member, you know when it comes up, you know when you can get it. And you can go back 6 days and even look through the list, and there's still some deals, obviously, that are there that aren't there. So as you can see, there's no downloads. And I'm going to go into our shoe deal first, just kind of show it, and then mixed deals next. I'll click on my shoe deal. And what you'll see when I open it up is we'll have a good 12 amount of leads here on an average. We give 10 is our quota. We usually give 2 more extra. I ask for the VAs in case there's a problem with pricing, and shoes are that way. Shoes can change very quickly with ranking, with deals and sales. And the whole thing behind our shoe list here, as you can see, is looking for ROIs greater than 50% after Amazon fees, return on investment that is. And a lot of times they're much greater than that on shoes for sure. Our ranking, we're looking for anything 30,000 or less. That's old school. 30,000 or ranking does the best as far as shoes. And then we have our store link. Then we have our ASIN link to Amazon. And then right here we have our review, ratings. And here this is our built-in Keepa chart that we can click on. And importantly, number of sellers. How many people are on that listing? And right now we have Ebates as the coupon site saying, hey, if you go to Ebates and shop through them, you'll get 6% off of this price. So you always want to use a rebate. And I've been using Ebates, and I've been using RevROI. And I'll show you an example of let's do a Reebok shoe. So, you know, there's Reebok down here. So what we'll do is, I might have opened it, and I'll open it one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure the $41.99 is still there. And finish line is the actual store we're looking at. It's a 9.5 size shoe we want to see. So I'm going to click on that and make sure our deal is going to be there still. Click on 9.5. That's the size shoe we're looking at. And yeah, we're at $41.99. So that matches up. Then we're going to go over our Amazon link and make sure that Amazon is still selling that. And this is where the evaluation comes in, because we have to make sure the right color shoe, obviously. That's there. That's the shoe, I believe, right? Let's see. Yep, that's the shoe. The red going through it. You make sure these things match up. The red's going through it. You got a model size and do all that if you want to go deeper into it. And I go to my sizes being 9.5. That's a good size male shoe usually. And pricing's way over here at $99.99. And so this shoe deal is checking out. $41, $99.99 is the sell price. Our net is $38. People like shoes because there's a lot of return on investment in shoes. The ranking's 2,000, so it's way down there as far as ranking. 30,000 is the top end, and 0 being the best, obviously. And now we're going to go into one thing I like to do is here's our shoe in Reebok, and this is where you buy it at. Here's the RevROI app I've been using. And I'm going to give it a shot and see if it actually works on the webinar share screen. So you hit this app, and it spins around, and it's searching the internet for the best rebate sites, the best deals and rebates, gift cards, and also promos as well. So let's give it a second to work here. And if it doesn't, here we go. Work good, great. So right here, you can see if I go to Splendor, Extras, this is cash back right now. It means you get money back in the mail like Ebates. 10%, and you click on these items and you basically sign up like Ebates and you go back and shop the shoe through there, you're getting 10% back on this price already. You're saving another $4-something. So to me, you have to use these rebate sites. I mean, this is where you make that extra money in your pocket. Imagine 10% or 8% across all your sales or profit through the year. That's a lot of money. In my offline business, I would love to do that extra every year. That'd be fantastic. And online, you can because of coupons. And going back to that one more time, and we hit it one more time as far as the RevROI. And I think, to me, if you get a good enough price on the margin and you can save money, your chances of success are much higher. If you're trying to squeeze profit, you can't Amazon can't guarantee you the price they're selling today is the price it'll be tomorrow. So you really want to do a good job on buying stuff. Anytime you buy wholesale or OA, RA, it's all in the buying. Now, discount gift cards, you can get, let's see what it gives us here. So 10% off on the rebates. And if you go to discount Groupons right here, you can save another 5%. So if I buy a gift card and buy it with a gift card and you go through Ebates to do it, I'm stacking 15% right there. So you really can stack some serious coupons here. So I'm working a deal now with the creator of RevROI, and I'm going to give this to at least 50% off the price. It's really inexpensive. It was like $24 or $30, and it was when I bought this thing. I get it for free, but it's really inexpensive. And we're going to send it out to our list at a really discounted price because I love it. I use it for everything. I mean, it's so much easier for me to search one app than to have an app for each one of these stores. Have you seen this yet, John? Have you seen this type of app yet on your end?
What app are you talking about?
Oh, the RevROI, the one I'm using right now. This rebate discount app.
Yeah. And I think what the folks on here need to understand too is that he said the RevROI results are not showing for somebody for I think it's George.
Yeah, no problem. What I'll do is it's being shared. I have a screenshot of it in the presentation. So what I'll do is I'll go over it again. But people who can see it, that's how it works, and I'll go over it once again. I took a screenshot. I wasn't sure if it was going to share very well when you share a screen online. I can see it at my end, obviously, but I'll show it again in the slide, and I'll touch base with it. But the idea is that you're scanning multiple available rebate sites all at once versus just using one rebate site. So I can go to the best deals. You know, Mr. Rebates, everybody knows about 6%. So you open accounts with all these different ones that make sense, and you get checks in the mail. You know, it's nice getting a check back in the mail, and it's part of your discount. So that's the Rev ROI. And going back to Amazon, a couple of things I like to do in Keepa too, for instance, I show two graphs. I mean, here's a listing on Amazon, and I just want to show you some of the tools of Keepa that I use. I don't know if everybody uses a second graph on their thing. If I click, usually people just have this, right? They show the price, who's on the listing. I like to add this graph to it, right below it, more historical data. It shows the amount of sellers. It's so much easier to look at this graph and say, okay, well, there's only 2 sellers there. So if you have like 25, 30 sellers on a listing, you may say that's too many people for shoes, especially. I'm not going to get into that. So it's nice, a really easy to use graph. Just to select that button right there to show the amount of
we use that same.
I use that too. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's a nice time saver, just being quick with the process of vetting the scenarios. And, you know, going back to our shoe list, so as you see, there's quite a few deals here. I mean, there's no way you would be able to buy all these shoes. I mean, unless you want to spend a lot of money or spend a lot of time. So I basically go through the process and find the ones that make the most sense by vetting it and buying the ones. You know, if it's a really good deal, you go deep. If it's an okay deal, you go a little shallow on it, you know, 5. If you're new to this, I would probably recommend you buy no more than 10 items at a time. Get used to the process first. And when you start feeling confident of how it works, then you can go, you have more confidence to go deeper and hold more inventory. But that's what's great about OA. You can select the quantity you want to buy. Your risk is much lower than when you go into some of the other sourcing models. Let me go back to our list again. I'm going to show you the mixed deals. So a super bundle, and I'll show you pricing them down the road, but super bundle means I have access to both of these. Some of our members want both shoe deals or mixed deals, or you can have either one or the other. It's a variety of plans. The mixed deals means these are items that are not restricted as far as, you know, they're not health and personal care. They're areas where anybody can sell. We're not doing restricted categories. So you'll see crazy things like, you know, you go to like this top one caught my eye right away. I'm looking at this Lennox going, oh no, it's China. Never buy China, it's going to break. But, you know, I buy China and I sell pretty well. And I'll tell you why. Looking at it, it's $59 selling for $129, and that seems like a really big profit margin in that. So I'm going to make sure, first of all, is that deal still there? 13-inch China item. And home and kitchen I like. Let's just check it out, make sure it's there. Like I said, things move around, prices move. This is the hardest job. Is this price there or not? And I got to scroll down, obviously, and find 13 inches. Here it is. Yeah, $59.99. That price is still there. And let's go to Amazon and make sure that our price is going to be there as well. Click on it, and it is $129. Yeah, and I think Amazon might be a part of this one usually. And here's the other thing. Once it pops up our screen, let me see if I can get it to pop up here. Yeah, Keepa's not loading for me while we're sharing. But $129 is their price. Here it comes. I'm waiting for Keepa to load. I have a Keepa plugin down here, and I just want to see what it does. So Amazon's often on this listing, which I like those kind of listings. I wouldn't go very deep. I wouldn't buy 100 of these things, but I wouldn't buy a few of these because Amazon drives a good market, drives a lot of traffic, and when they're out of stock, you sell it. You know, and so looking down here though, we have 14 people on this listing. So I'm thinking, okay, what's my ranking right away? I'm ranking around, yeah, it's a little high for that. So I wouldn't go very deep. I like the profit margin, but these are things you're looking at, evaluating. Is there sales traffic? Is there enough margin? And is it selling? So this one, I like the margin. I'd probably go light on this if I even did it. But I want to just kind of show you, just looking at any of these, looking back at Belk again.
Let me stop you for 1 second there, Michael. The other thing when Michael had that chart up is that not only is he looking at those 14 sellers, what you should be looking at is that you only compete with FBA sellers. So you should be looking at the FBA sellers and seeing how many FBA sellers. And like Michael was saying, my son had a tool, and on the side I could see how many each seller has. Well, my son had a tool that he made. It's a Chrome extension called Stock Check, and it'll actually show you on that sidebar where Michael was showing the amount that each seller has up to $9.99. It'll also give you the quick rank. Every seller. If there's 14 sellers and that's 3 pages, I'm just being hypothetical. On those 3 pages, if there's 360 units, it's going to show it on the first page. It's going to show the total amount being sold on Amazon and the rank for that. So it's a tool that now you don't have to worry about going in and putting $9.99 to see how many they have and going back and doing it for the next one, going back and doing it for the next one. It's a really good tool that he's built, and it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, it's
okay,
very cool. I think actually I've used that, and what I've been using until that point has actually been Ace Inspector, but I think his tool is actually easier. It puts it right on the side. You might be able to share that with everybody down as well in an email. But looking over here, I've been doing this, and it's an extra step, and really John Jr.'s app is right there on the screen, and I can say only Amazon Prime sellers here, and right now this is nothing left really, right? It's only 5 sellers. And knowing this, like, wait a minute, there's only 4, 5, 6, 7 inventory on this, and it's one extra step beyond what John has, the Junior has. But yeah, the same thing. Knowing the inventory makes your decision a little bit much better. If I have a low inventory, I feel a little bit more confident going deeper. If I saw $9.99, you know, I'm like, well, that's a lot of dishes to sell there. They saw my dish, or I got to undercut that person. And Amazon warehouse deals is better than Amazon themselves, I think. It's they're one there, they're ready to sell out of this. So price is going to jump on this, and Amazon down here only has 1 left. So it's got a lot of upward momentum in this product. You know, I used to trade the currency in stocks, so I look at this a little differently than most people. You know, people look for a lot of pricing stability. I look for peaks and valleys. Can my price get back there? And what I'm looking for is inventory, supply and demand. If the supply is low, that price is commanded at most times. You know, so you can command your price a lot of times. So if I see a lot of inventory here, I'd be more nervous. If I see low inventory, I'm more excited, as you mentioned before. So that's a great app that John came out with. Is really, even this app here I use too, knowing what inventory is going to be and the vet further in the scenario. And what I want to do is kind of go to the other scenarios here. And what I want to do is run one more time. If I can get back here. Let's see here. That's why I kind of like your app, John, because you have to close the whole screen out to get back to this one. But I'll run RevROI, our discount app, and see, hey, do we have any more deals out there we can get on this stuff? We save more money. Can I save more money in my current deal? And I'm telling you, this makes your margins so much better. This may be able to pay for your list or pay for your VA just by making 8%, 10% more. And right here, up promise. Top cash back, 4% right there. You know, if you didn't use this, you'd be missing out on cash back. And discount, let's see any gift cards out there. Let's see. And people who can't see this right now, I'm going to show a slide later that will be on the slide. You can see it right there, 12% on a gift card. So you can buy a gift card, stack the two together, 12% plus, was it 5%? 17% right there. Just on buying. I didn't even sell anything. I just made 17%. And all of a sudden, your risk factor of buying a product and selling it goes way down by 17%. If you're just going to this list and just buying it at that price and you're happy with that, you're missing out on some money. You're leaving money on the table, and it's really taking the extra effort. And instead of spending hours looking at the fine products, look at the list that people are giving you that's very inexpensive and a great value. And there's so much more you can get out of these things if you know what tools to use and what to do. So let me go back to the presentation here for a moment, if I can find it. Let's see here. 1 second there, John. Give me one moment, everybody. Let's go back to the presentation screen. All right. So that was all. Any questions at all? Let's ask for any questions out there on that. We have more to it, but that was kind of the overview of how a list and how I use a list to kind of go through and find deals and get coupons. I like the coupons a lot, and it saves a lot of time and money for me.
Well, I think that what most people need to understand too is that when you see like the shoe list, for instance, that you have, and you see shoes out there and you're saying, you know what you paid for them, how the heck are they making any money? Well, what you just showed is exactly how they're making money. They're compounding. They're buying gift cards where they can buy a $500 gift card and get it for, $470, where they save $30, and then they're compounding it with the Ebates, and they're compounding it with another discount they're getting. And that's how they're able to sell the prices that they are and make money, because we all look at it, and I look at those shoe lists and I say, man, I paid $37 for this, and they're selling it for $59 after Amazon's fees. How are they making money? Well, that's how they're doing it. If you ever wondered how they're doing it, the people that take the time and do these little things that Michael's talking about are the ones that are making the money, and the ones that are not doing it are the ones that are product and saying I can't make money on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like anything else. You get buying that product at the best price is going to definitely make you more successful, and also buying product that people want. And these are items that are kind of odd, but there's a demand for it. And so going back to my screen, are you able to see the screen, everybody? I have the Rev ROI app here for the ones that missed couldn't see it on the actual screen share. On this app, I just started using it probably about 30 days ago, and absolutely love it. And as you can see, there's a cashback up top, and that's the rebate sites. And any store you're on, any website you're on, any online store, you basically hit the app, it scans it, and it gives you discounts across the board. And you basically choose that graph, and it brings you there. You sign up, and you shop like you would shop through eBay to get that discount. And sometimes I even find either other deal. I clicked on a shoe deal yesterday. Just kind of playing around with the app because I'm trying to integrate the app with the FBA seller list. And I found the 10% cash back, and they had a 15% coupon inside of that to use. I applied the coupon at the shopping cart, and it saved 25%, 10% cash back, 15% I saved at checkout. So it's really just taking the time to use these things. It's amazing what you uncover. Don't spend time looking for it. Spend time taking the list and working the list. So this is a great little tool, and this is people who couldn't see it. This is a cashback discount gift. That means gift card. It searches all the gift cards out there. You can buy gift cards. When you buy a gift card, you shop with that online gift card as like a credit card to buy money. Coupons is something I haven't played with too much, and that's a rabbit hole. You heard the term rabbit hole, where you click a box.
Hey, Michael, are you actually showing it, Michael? Because they're saying I don't see it, and I don't really see it either.
Let me try if I can start over again real quick. Let me see. 1 second.
The screen only says on-screen presentation, and that's what I was seeing too.
How do you see this one? Is it there now?
Yeah, now I saw it.
Okay, I'll start back over. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, it was. I have two screens working here, and I'm new to Webinar Jam, so I'm kind of working through it here a little bit. So cashback is the one I've been showing. That's basically a scan across the whole website, the whole internet, looking for the best deals for that vendor. So if I'm on, for instance, Dollar Days, wherever it may be, it's going to scan everything and say, hey, here's your best deals out there. And you basically sign up through these rebate companies, and then you get cash checks in the mail and all that. And sometimes within that, in those websites when you sign up, there's actually additional money off. You can apply the coupons during the checkout, so you're getting cash back and coupons. So it's really amazing. What I love about this app is it just gives you all the places in one spot. Before we were just using Ebates, right? Ebates, or somebody's using, Mr. Rebates, and that's one place. But you can see there's more and more of these popping up, and that's going to be the trend, for shopping online, is getting more deals. Gift cards is basically like granny cards where you find deals. You buy a card and you buy at a discount. You save additional money. Usually it's 5%, up to 10% max. Coupons is the area I was talking about where if you click it, it gives you discounts on that particular website. It's like a rabbit hole, and it leads you down a path to find clearance items that are not related at all to what the list says. But if you want to go deeper and deeper, you can follow that coupon trail. And I haven't done much with it because it's a time-consuming scenario, but I definitely see potential in using that to get other products for sale. What I want to show is something that is called a report. And when you're selling online arbitrage or any items, you should be running reports on the screen. And this is in your Amazon Central Seller account under Reports, Parent Items. So I wanted to show something from last year. I did online arbitrage, and I bought some items. And as you'll see in the top red corner, I want to focus in on the IKEA plastic bag wall holder mount. And so I bought these last year on online arbitrage. It was last year sometime, and I was kind of playing the reports, see what they were doing. And if you haven't read a report before under advanced reports, there's sessions. That means how many times that product has shown up. And this is actually, I believe I had a monthly, you can do daily reports, monthly reports, whatever it may be. And then this is how many page views. And this is the percentage of buy box that you had. When you're sharing a listing, your buy box percentage can be 0. It means you're not selling anything, or it can be as high as 100% if you're the only seller left on that buy box. And here's the amount of units that are ordered. This is actually a 30-day deal, a 30-day chart that I remember. So this product had sold 25 in a month, and well, actually 22 out of 25 sold in those 30 days. And unit session percentage right here means, right here, that is the conversion rate. These people that showed up to that listing when I was on it, at 73% came to my listing, 7% of the time I sold out. I sold a product. That's pretty good. Usually above 4%, you're good. You get into the teens, 10, 12, 13%, you're doing really well and selling a lot of product. So I like the fact that, you know, this is something that I would try to sell again using past data, or maybe go try the wholesale. And I'll show you what I did with it. And I was kind of playing around with it, and it worked out pretty well. So looking down here again, here's the IKEA plastic bag holders, and a bigger screenshot. This is the bottom. This is again 336 sessions for the month, 428 page views. I had the buy box 73% of the time, so that's pretty good for sharing a listing because we only had 2 sellers on it, so it was pretty good. I sold 22 units, and whenever somebody came to my particular listing and I had the buy box, I sold 7.44% of the time. And you know, in the internet world, above 2% is really good. So this is actually pretty good figures. So what that tells me is that, hey, this product may be worth getting again, because I know that it will sell. So let's go to the next screen. It'll make more sense to you as I go further. So this is all it was. You've probably seen this one. It's a plastic bag holder. So what I did last year was I basically just listed it against the current listing. It was IKEA, and I showed you the numbers I did, and it sold, and I made money on it. I think I sourced it for $1.99. It was selling for like $19.99. It was a crazy margin in it. And amazing people pay that much money for it. They did. I'm like, you know what? I want to bundle it. I want to make it my own unique listing. I want to try something different. That's option number 2. I can just list it the way I found it, or I can just put it with something else. And I went to Amazon. They recommended using these mop hangers, or broom hangers. So I basically placed these 2 items together, and I'll show you what happened with that. I just did it recently. Or I can find this wholesale, which I did. I found these wholesale. But you can find these products wholesale and buy them yourself, have your own brand, whatever it may be. So as you can see, what started out as an OA item turned into other items and a bundle. So I'm going to show you in the next screen what happened. So here, so I sold for $24.97, the 2 together. I sourced the 2 items together for probably about $10 landed. And you can see I started with this listing with absolutely no ranking at all. It's a brand new listing. I did a little Amazon PPC. As you can see, Jungle Scout, I was within a week and a half, I was already ranking at 71,000 in home and kitchen, which is a very aggressive. Once I saw more and promoted more, I know I can get it lower. And I was estimated to do 56 sales a month with this product. And the more you sell, the ranking improves. The more you sell, the more you sell. So this is an example. I just took a basic bundle from an OA listing I had, put it with something else, created a new unique UPC, and I created created a title, and had its listing, and had its own listing, its own UPC. And that easy, I can sell 56. I know for sure when I relist it again, I can get it lower than that. I ran out of inventory basically, and it would have been down. I would have been selling probably about 100 of these and making a good amount of money on them. And I definitely can wholesale them or even private label them for much cheaper than I bought them through wholesale for. These are really cheap. This is actually a pretty cheap price. This one I can get much less. And as you go down below, I just got an email yesterday, September 3rd, that's 2 days ago, saying, hey, this is Amazon, get some more of these things. So this goes to show, this taking an OA list where it started from, tracking the reports, and looking at what Amazon's telling you to, hey, put these two items together. People are looking for these things or buying these things. Creating a unique UPC and learning a little bit about how to do titles and all of that and listings and Amazon ads, I basically made my own unique listing. You can do this with any of the products that make sense, as long as you can buy it for less than you're selling it for and make a profit margin on it. And what I do, and this is going to the next level, we talked about the models and moving upwards. What I do is I test products first. If this thing sells consistently and gets to a certain point, I may want to buy 500 or 1,000 of these things, through my own brand, or I'm going to go to a wholesaler and buy a bunch of them. I feel confident because I have data behind me backing up to Jungle Scout and backing back up to my reports. And I run these reports all the time. I want to know how many what's my conversion rate? Am I showing up enough? Do I have traffic? Am I in the buy box? But now my buy box is 100%. That's my listing. Unless somebody jumps on it, that's my listing 100%. So my closing scenario here is that just look at getting the OA list. It's more to it. Look at it deeper than just looking at products. Look at the bridge to wholesale, bridge to private label. Start thinking of the next step. OA can teach you a lot about Amazon, a lot about the market, and having somebody build these lists for you takes all that time off your hands. I have time to actually do all these things versus if I was sitting here in front of the computer trying to find the best OA deal. I'm looking at products now. Hey, can I bundle that? Can I wholesale that? Who sells it? I spend my time doing that now. And right now, that can be an easy way to scale up and a very, very cost-effective and safe way of doing it. You're not buying large volumes, not going deep in anything. You're learning the process and you're proving yourself. And once you make your own bundles, you control your own UPC codes, do your own listings, you have a pretty good idea of how things work. And then you can move into your deeper wholesale and then into your private labels. So to me, it should be a mandatory step is using at least OA before you get into wholesale or into your private label. And so what we're trying to promote today really is, again, this is an option for everybody, but if you use the coupon I'm with John and you go to FBAsellerlist.com, we'll give you 30% off any plan. I'll show you the plans in a second. We have a variety of plans. And to start looking at, let these lists come to you, vet them, use the coupon codes, get the rebate deals, and start looking beyond, the idea of, hey, I can list this, but let me think about maybe possibly bundling. If you're getting your own packaging sent to your house, look on the back of the packaging. Who sells it? There's a great way to find the distributor or the manufacturer, the contact, and maybe get an account open. I open accounts, no problem. I have a sales tax ID, and whatever account I want to open them up, I open an account and I buy wholesale. And that way, down the road, things may change in Amazon. Now you're getting more into the area of wholesaling and eventually private label. But OA is a great place to get it going, and it used as a diversification. And it's an awesome bridge. For me, it has been a great bridge. And I buy stuff all from medical devices all the way down to a plastic bag holder. And it's just a really easy way to learn the process while you're making money, saving your capital, and learning the system. So if you go to FBAsellerlist.com, use I'm with John. Of course, John put this on for us tonight. You save 30%, and I'll show you pricing in a second. It's really cost effective. This isn't a massive business for us. It's something we're using to help people. We were able to employ people in other countries as a form of social entrepreneurship. And at the same time, we want to keep improving the technology in the list to offer more services. So FBASellers.com, anytime you use this coupon at checkout, 30% off, and I'll kind of show you the website again and the plans, what we have. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen one more time, John. Just give me a yay or nay if you can see the pricing page on FBA seller list.
I can see it.
Okay, so basically we made this thing so affordable. I've seen lists out there that are so expensive. I'm like, man, I wouldn't pay that. And listen, Paul and I, as my partner on this, we got into this really to really push the limits of what we can do with this software, this kind of platform. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the pricing. You can visit for yourself and use the coupon with John and save 30%. We even offer a daily list. You want us to buy a daily list, $10 or $15. You can try it out, see how it works. What's cool about this one, you actually can see 6 days of older lists using that. So it's a really good value. You're getting like 7 lists for one. But it's not the most recent list, just that 1 day, of course. And we have plans here. You can do a 2-day plan for $60, a 5-day plan. Here's our premium shoe plan. And the super bundle, which I have, obviously, it gives you access to both shoes and to mixed deals. So when you sign up, that coupon that I gave out with John, that discount's as good as long as you're active. If you go for 6 months, you get it for 6 months. It follows that pricing, so you can get a really good deal right now and try something out. And hopefully, the techniques I showed and some of the forward thinking about how to use this list, or any list really, is to think about the next step. And hopefully we can develop some more ideas. John and I were talking about the shoe list and develop more programs to start moving people forward in the progression to get places where John is today. And everybody started from RA to OA, worked their way up. And if there's any questions, please feel free to ask or throw them in the chat box. I'm not really seeing any chat on my end, so you might have to give me the questions on your end, John. But that's my presentation for tonight.
I think it's J-O-R-G. I think it's George. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. But he wants to know how many people per plan that you have with this. And also, I think people need to realize that with the presentation you showed tonight, there is no obligation to buy anything. Basically, what you showed them, they can do on their own. They don't need to certainly subscribe to any of these plans if they don't want to. But I guess the bottom line is what you showed is how much work's involved to actually do it on your own. I mean, if you want to do it on your own, you're more than welcome to do it. But like what Michael was showing, there's a lot of time and commitment in it. And we all have to look at, how much time and how much commitment do we want to put into this. This type of thing is a nice supplement business for you that can almost set it and go, build other income streams. I'm always talking about don't put your eggs all in one basket. Get something going, get good at it, and move to something else. Once you get good at it, and Michael didn't go into this too much, but once you get good at these lists, why do you need to do them? Why can't you pass it to somebody and have them do it for you? Outsource it. Let them do it. Keep that successful and move on to another stream. Successful is when you build something, you learn what you're doing, you pass it on to somebody else to do it for you. Next level.
Yeah. So back to George's question is, we have 20 subscribers max. So that means not just each little category. Our shoe plan, the 5-day, 2-day super bundle, there's only 20 people allowed maximum through the whole entire shoe list. That one list I showed, we have maximum of 20 people. There's 12 deals a day times 5 a day, 60 deals a day times 4, 240 deals a month. I mean, it's plenty of opportunities to look at and buy. And not all plans are completely full of 20. That's just a maximum. It was 25 when we first acquired this list. I dropped down to 20, thinking that was a better number as far as we want too much dilution on the list itself. And then your shoe plan, the same thing, and your mixed category plan, 20 max. You see 2 plans, but it's actually the 2-day, the 5-day, and the bundle. There's only 20 people, no matter what you choose. So if you're a super bundle, there's 20 people between these 3 plans max. So it's not a super diluted 100-person per list. Again, it's password protected. It's super. It's a process. It posts every time the same day. I mean, it's there. You're not going to compete for it, get locked out of it. As long as you're a member, you have access to it. and we're always improving on it. We're looking at ways to make improvements. We get emails saying from maybe people who are very experienced, hey, we noticed this, and then what we do is my partner in Australia is the same time zone. We'll talk with the VAs, and I'll send some screenshots and videos, and it's constant training. So you could get your own VA and do something similar, but I've told people you have to be if it's your employee, you have to be invested in constant training, which is okay. I mean, we do it on certain things. I mean, so you can do that if you want to learn it yourself, and you can. I mean, and once you feel confident that you know the process, you can decide to use a list, or you can decide to do your own VA, or depends what it is. So they're all good models. It all comes down to time. For me, I try to find major automation. I'm used to having employees, so I'm used to delegating off the people who do better. I mean, these VAs are much better than me at sourcing. What I'm good at is looking at the data and looking at opportunities to make bundles, to look for wholesale accounts. I think my time is spent with things I said earlier, things where that they can't do. These girls or these gals and guys can do this themselves. They can do a great job for you, and better than I can, quite frankly. And so I spend my time, what I do real well, making contacts and wholesale contacts and taking courses, improving my skill level. And so that's my question to that. So 20 people is a max to each category.
Hey, Michael, so we are getting some questions. Ben wants to know, what are the price ranges of the products on the list?
Yeah, so your price ranges, I can give you some examples. Let me pull back up here to my list. And every day is a different day. It's like a variety of items. And let's go with the shoe deals. I'll click on both, I guess. So you always have 6 days showing pretty much. And the ranges go from $18, $55, and we're looking for really is an ROI of 50%. We try to we don't want to sell too cheap. We don't want a product that's selling for $15 or no less than $15, because the Amazon fees take a bite out of it. And give me an example of one of those that came over yesterday. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cheap. But let me show you an example. I kind of just thought of something when you mentioned that. I was looking at this really interesting item on Friday. I was playing around with the presentation, and these little things came up. These little unicorn things. They're like $4. Amazon sells for $15. Oriental Trading has them, and I actually had it open. So I'm like, well, these are kind of. This seems like I can do something with this. These seem like really cheap, $4.98, and they're $15 on Amazon. So if you want to spend a little bit of money, you can. You can buy these for $4.98 and buy whatever many you want to buy. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, let me go to Amazon and see what Amazon sells with it. I'm a bundle guy. I like to bundle stuff in the future. I like to list it and bundle it if it makes sense. And these cheap items that are less expensive, it's a good return on investment. It's only a $5 net after fees. So it's a little tight, but you can make money. It's inexpensive to get into. So I went to Amazon. I'm like, hey, what's Amazon doing this thing? So yeah, they're still selling it at $15. There's only 2 left. This guy's selling it. I went down below. I'm like, what's this thing? $63? These little $5 things with this. These are like you open them up. These are like wall decals for a girl's room. So all of a sudden these hangers are bundled with these unicorn stickers. Like, well, that's really cool. I mean, that's a pretty high-end item all of a sudden. How much I get vinyl stickers for? So what I did was I'll show you another tool I use. I'll let you mention that. I basically just did like stick and apply unicorn decal sticker with this art. And I right-click my screen. I go to context menu search. And I'm going to check who sells these things. You can check eBay. You can check Google. I'll check out Google products or whatever. And Google products came back, and they didn't come up with anything really on that. So I can't go to that. So I'm going to close that out. And I'll go back again. Nothing there. I'm going to go back over here and say, what is eBay got going on? So eBay's selling. Yeah, it's not coming up for me on that. But I did it earlier with the context search, and I found it over here. I ended up finding it on AliExpress. Not the same thing, but it doesn't matter. All I want is unicorn stickers that go with this product. It's not. I can't find this product. It doesn't. This person must have this product. Oh yeah, they're private label. See, style by apply. It's their product. I can't get that product anywhere. But I can get something similar to it to match up with unicorns, because we found these things and we want to find something that matches up. So I found it similar to it for $4.42 each. So now I'm looking at $4.42 for these, and there's no shipping involved. You can get many as you want. I'll bundle them up with these unicorn wall holders. So that's a $10 investment, and I'll probably even get a discount if I use Rev ROI. Let's see what Rev ROI's got going on here. I'll probably get them cheaper than that. Let's see. They're $4.99. They're pretty cheap already. But $4.98. Let's see if I get any discounts on this thing. So this is a process I'm thinking that I'm trying to kind of show something different than just doing online arbitrage. I mean, that's a great start, but I want to show some new stuff that I do. Yeah, here we go. So I can get 3% off on cash back. Not tremendous, but that's 3%. Any gift cards? Let's see here. Yeah, right there I can get 10%. That's 13% off that already. So I'm down to $4, more, less than $4 maybe. So when I go back over to here and I match these up, I'm at $9, $10. I get them to Amazon at $11. And what do you think I can sell them for, John? I mean, you probably can sell those for. I probably be happy pricing those in the $30 range. You probably have no problem selling these, because right now they're selling over here as a bundle for $63. That's a lot of margin to play with there. Right. So these are some examples that I see. These little. That's how I look at things. I look at. I definitely can sell them by themselves right here. Where are they? Right here. I can make $5 just by doing it. I'll list them. Why not? But why not look at say, well, what about bundling them up, and you can do something else with it? So what I'm trying, I guess, my point, the educational side of it is use the list. You can go far as you want with these things. You just can list it, make money, use the discount codes, or you can start thinking about how can I get these things together to be unique. How to get my own products. That's kind of what I'm showing. So going back to pricing again. Here's today's list on mixed deals. And they vary every day. I try to mix them around. But they start from $9 buying them down to $8, and they're selling up in the 50s. But what you want to see is I like the net and the ROI. This is the money you're going to get if everything goes right. And the reason why I like using, again, the coupon, the Ebates, and all the rebate codes is it gives me a margin of safety. Say it doesn't sell at $58, it sells at $50, but I paid $20. My range of my ROI, my net profit stayed intact because I was smart during the buying process. Just like you buy a stock, you buy stocks, real estate, anything you buy with a margin of safety. You're going to be much more successful than always counting on that's going to be the price. That's going to be the price. You have to make that purchase intelligently, and to take your time to do that, and that's going to make you much better on the net and on the ROI, and much happier, and more. You can be more aggressive too in your pricing if you want to sell a little faster. So that's kind of the price. I hope that answers the questions on the range, but that's kind of what we look for. So they'll vary. I mean, you have 12 leads to look at every day. I mean, there's a lot of variety in different price ranges. Sometimes I'm not going to pay. I don't want to spend a lot of money. I'll look at $6 items, or I'll look at $8 items. And I just showed you before with the unicorns, those are only $5. The discount $4. So I can put two of those together and multi-pack it and double the price. There's all kinds of things that you can do to increase the value of the sales price. But so you have a complete range of purchasing pricing on these lists.
There's a lot. I mean, we have another question here, and we're running a little later here. I don't want to keep you too late, but there's another thing real quick that I see from that is that you found two products, and you also found someone that was private labeling it. You could private label it and kind of compete with them and make it better than what they were selling to. So that's another option with these lists, is you can actually find things that maybe you want to private label and make it better too, so that you're able to sell that product and have no competition. But I do have another question from Scott, who says the shoe plan gets a separate shoe list.
No, it's the same plan. What happens is it's kind of to make it seem clear. Let me go back real quick to the pricing plan. So there's 20 people. There's one shoe list, and in that shoe list, there's only so many spots for super bundles. There's only so many openings for a 5-day plan and a 2-day plan. When you add this, and this together, there's 20 people max. So if there's 10 people doing this, 5 here, 5 here, that's it. There isn't 20, 20, and 20. That's how these lists work. But if I gave a 20 for each one, that'd be 60 people. But how we do it is we give people access for 2 days. This is only Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is Monday through Friday. This is Monday. So basically, the 5-day plans are the same. They use the same list, but the maximum all 3 of these things do is 20. So if we sell out, we have like maybe so many plans left. Once we sell out, we close the list down, and until it opens up again. We hire another virtual assistant to take on overflow of more people. But that list will basically have no more than 20. So the 5-day super bundle will have this plan and that plan, and they all equal 20 max. There's not 60, not 20, 20, 20, but 20 total. And the same thing with the mixed category bundle too. So literally there's 2 lists working here, and there's total, these lists here can maintain, the way you see it now, 40 members total. That's it. We keep it very small and unique. Like I said, this is something we kept alive for our current members, and we're using it also ourselves to grow the technology to kind of make this thing very interesting. We're really into the platform itself. And so what's nice about our list is that we're actually constantly trying to push the limits and improve on it and add apps to it and do things with it, like the password protection that doesn't exist. So our interest is really in a very high quality list that people can use, and then also the technology of delivering password protected content. And that's kind of that's why it's really limited. We want to make a control group and not really get out of control and have too many people using it.
And from what I understand, Michael, you want to put that coupon code up into the chat so that people can see it in the chat also.
Yeah, I'll do that right now. It's basically I'm with John. So,
and this is something that you put together for the people on this webinar. This is not something that's been put together for anybody else. So that's what I like about when I bring guests in here. I'm looking to bring quality guests in here that have good ideas and good business strategies that are going to help make you money, that are also going to help save you money. And by him doing this coupon code, he's saving you money on these things that are only 20 people to a plan. So I really like the fact that Michael's doing that for us. Again, I've looked at his list. I've seen them. I've gone inside them. The things that are in this list, the companies that are in this list. I belong to a lot of lists. I've seen many lists. And because I get to review them as having a webinar show, a lot of these people that put these lists together will give me a list and let me go through them. And what I don't see, what Michael's list that I see on the other list, is I see a lot of items and companies being on those lists the same, where on Michael's I see a lot of different things that makes his list stand out more, and in my opinion, not be as saturated.
Yes, here's an example. You pick a pricing plan, you type I'm with John in, and it gives you a discount right here. So this is a 2-day plan. You save $18 as long as you're active. That membership price stays in place. And if we do sell out past our capacity, we'll do a holding list and we'll add on another virtual. We have virtual assistants. We have also part-time that we bring on full-time to meet capacity to add different lists. But yeah, so that's we can do a 2-day plan, 5-day plan, and all that. But I hope on top of all this, not just the list itself, is that we touch some new places. We kind of thought outside the box a little bit, and that's kind of where we're going as well. We're going to revamp our services and offer some of the bundling ideas and some of the maybe trying to offer bundling lists, things like that. So we're always looking to do things a little differently as we test it and make sure it works ourselves, and to add on that type of strategy as a new type of strategy. But really, my main thing here tonight was that, and appreciate John, is really to show some of the strategies that I use, or strategies that I look at differently, taking a list and not just looking at it as OA, but looking at all the potential. These are, like John mentioned, these are products that aren't the mainstream products sometimes, and the ones that sell. If you can sell 6 or 10 of those daily, that's what a lot of people do. We get a lot of SKUs that sell 6 to 10 a daily. you're looking pretty good. So this is my presentation, online arbitrage to a bridge to wholesale was my main point. And people will find value in this coupon to use the OA list to get started with OA or Amazon, or to help them move along the way. That'd be great.
Hey guys, I just want to say thank you for all you guys being here. I really do appreciate you tuning in when there's other places that you could be tuning in. Especially, this is going on an hour and 20 minutes now. This is a pretty long webinar. I apologize for that a little bit. Michael really had a lot of information. And if you take anything from this webinar, take the fact that here and giving you a lot of information, whether you go and buy his list or want to be on his list or not, you can utilize a lot of these suggestions he has on your own if that's what you choose to do. But if you're looking for something that's unique, something that's out there, that's not saturated, that has a lot of people on it, that you don't have to worry about the competition as much as some of these other lists, then this is something that you might want to entertain and take a look at. Again, as always, I thank you guys for being here. Michael, I appreciate you coming on here, bringing more guests. I have another guest coming up next week on ProSeller Talk webinar that I think is going to be interesting, has a lot of great knowledge and information for you guys. My number one goal here is to bring things for you guys that make sense, that I would not only use myself or do use myself, but going to help you grow your business. That's why I put this webinar series together. That's why I will continue to bring quality to you and the people on the webinars that can help you grow your business. Michael, thanks again so much. I'm going to leave the last word with you.
All right, thanks, John. I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody coming on tonight and taking a look at our webinar, and hope we got something good out of this, and wish you much success in the future with your Amazon endeavors, and also looking at different ways of scaling your business. And I hope that I added some value to your process and maybe provided some good information to everyone. Everyone have a good night, and I appreciate everybody showing up for our webinar. All right.
Thanks, guys.